Hey guys, what's up? I'm here to give you another movie review, this time for a movie that I should have probably told you about weeks ago, but unfortunately I didn't. And unfortunately, I don't think there's really any time to really encourage people to go see it because it's been doing poorly at the box office. Fuck. The Walk, directed by Robert Zemeckis, written by him and Christopher Brown, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Ben Kingsley, Charlotte Le Bon, I think that's how you pronounce her name, Complo, James Badge Dale. It's narrated by Gordon-Levitt. We'll talk about that later. Christopher Brown, right? Did I say Christopher Brown? If I didn't, then it's Christopher Brown who co-wrote the movie alongside Zemeckis. Yeah. Also, you have a score from Alan Silvestri, who's a usual collaborator with Zemeckis. If you've ever seen Back to the Future and Forrest Gump, I mean, who hasn't? And obviously, you know that he collaborated. Well, yeah, you get what I'm saying. So, yeah. And if you guys don't know what the film is about, it's about this man named Philippe Petit, who was a French high-wire artist who walked between the Twin Towers, the World Trade Center, in 1974. August 7th, according to it says here, August 7th, 1974. He walked between the Twin Towers, and what the movie's about is it's mainly about the setup, about him setting up the hype. Here's how the movie's structured. The first half, you kind of understand a bit more of his backstory, and you kind of learn a bit what came to that. And it's also kind of a romance when he meets Charlotte Le Bon, and he discovers his there's kind of a connection between these two, practicing their passions, their what they love to do. And then, of course, the opportunity comes for him when he hears about the Twin Towers, and he decides to go there to. He goes there to. He thinks the perfect place to find to walk to walk a wire. I don't know what I'm saying. Set up the wire on between towers and walk between them. And that's really the first half. The second half is the heist, all the setup setting up the wire on the towers, and then it ends with him walking on it. Well, that's really the climax, him walking on the wire. I was really excited for this movie because I love Robert Zemeckis. I love Back to the Future. I've seen the entire trilogy. I've seen it multiple times when I was younger, although I haven't now, which is really sad. Yeah, I really got to do a review for Back to the Future because I'm long overdue on that, mostly because I'm past the 30th anniversary, the exact day when it was released in theaters. But it's still 2015, so I still have time to get out a review to celebrate the 20th anniversary, though I may watch it again. Because, I've watched so many times, I really remember it the best. But I may just watch it again to get a fresh memory of it so that I could probably do a lot better. So I could probably do it justice. Because, hey, 30th anniversary, man. I remember the teaser trailer came out. I could not stop watching that. I watched it over and over again multiple times. I love that scene where he's balancing on one of the metal rods, I guess you can say. Comment below if you have anything else, if you're going to contradict me or something like that. And I just like how it zooms out. It kind of really captures this. It just kind of just like how it zooms out into the it zooms out above him. It's just really cool. I like the music it plays too. It just also really represents the scale of it, the scale of them and how he's like a small speck relating to that. It's just incredible. I liked the poster, the original teaser poster, I believe it is. I love the art style. That was so cool. And coming out of this, I was hoping this movie to be a standout of 2015. And here's the thing about this. I walked into this movie, I was really excited. And it was not a standout, but it's still a really good movie and one of the best of October. The Walk is not a perfect movie, but it's a really good movie. There's a lot of things I can say about it. Well, obviously, what else can I say about it? It's a review. Now, let's talk about some things I've heard about. Now, I've never seen Man on Wire, the documentary, the documentary, but I did see a clip of it on YouTube, and I kind of heard him talk, Philippe Petit's accent. I think this is kind of I don't think it's a traditional French accent from what I've been hearing, and I've heard a bit of it, and what I can remember of it, I think Gordon-Levitt did a good job of it. Some people complain about his accent. I think it's fine. I didn't really let it bother me. And it doesn't take away from his performance. Gordon-Levitt's really good, is great in the movie. Oscar-worthy, that's really, really pushing it. But I can see in some ways how he'd be Oscar-worthy. Maybe Golden Globe at best. He really has this, like, you could see a man who, see, what I like about this is that when it comes to the idea, like, when it comes to, like, this dream and this idea that Philippe Petit is trying to do, you really feel the passion in him. You really see this passion in the guy. Like, he's not doing it because he wants attention. This is something that he is. He considers it an art form. And he does it because he considers it art. I love what he does with it. I think it's great. I mean, I really can't really, he has this charisma to it as well. He has a humorous side to him. You really believe, I mean, you can say he's a bit of a crazy guy at times, but overall, you really believe him. You really believe in him. Like, you understand why he wants to walk on the wire. You understand why he's doing it. He treats walking on a high wire as a passion, as an art form, rather than just a publicity stunt. And that's something that just makes it good. It just makes the guy so likable, and it really makes him. It makes the walk between the Twin Towers very personal, very personal. Really, that's really all I can say about it. It feels personal, and I love that. That's one of my favorite things about this. Like, it really. Zemeckis treated the guy with respect. Treated the walk, basically, I guess you could say that, with respect. He treated it respectfully. He didn't try anything different. He treated it the way it was, something that he considered something respectful, something that really proved that this guy had passion. This proved that there was, like, this guy had, like, understood that he had a passion for this, and he understood, like, he understood the man, and he managed to communicate his thoughts to the audience. Perfect. Ben Kingsley's really good, and I like him. It's nice to see him in a good movie, because, I mean, there are times when he's really just been throwing his career away. But it's nice to see him in a good movie. I like him as a mentor to Philippe Petit. I kind of like this. You know, it's kind of cool seeing him, like, train him and understand, like, the aspects of high wire artistry. I think they pronounce it. Comment below. I think that's how you state it. I don't know. He's really good in the movie. I really like him as a mentor. Though I do have to say he's a little underused, but I'll get to the cons later. It's not a perfect movie, guys. I'm gonna, like I said, it's not a standout film. I do like some of the cast members. I like Charlotte LeBon. I think she's good. I like the chemistry between like Joseph Gordon-Levitt and LeBon. They have good chemistry. You really believe that they're friends. That you really buy them. You know. Yeah, you really believe they're friends. I also really like. I have to say, Joseph Gordon-Levitt did such a great job with the high wire stuff, and actually Philippe Petit helped him with that. And wow, it's awesome. But the one thing I love the most about this movie, the visual effects. This movie actually, see, here's the thing about Robert Zemeckis. This guy's he's praised for blending visual effects and drama seamlessly. He really uses it to his advantage, and I have to say, he did such a great job recreating the Twin Towers, and of course creating the walk. Wow, it just felt so real. That is some of the best use of special effects I've seen all year. Is it the best? I'm still debating between this and The Martian. It's really hard. But let me tell you one thing. Love the effects. Is there any false effects? From what I can remember, I don't really remember any real false effects. Overall, they're really good. And if there's any false ones in there, or ones that you can notice that aren't really up to par with the others, it's overshadowed. It's great special effects. I can't see us going without an Oscar nomination because, well, let's see. They used a lot of green screen, like when recreating the Twin Towers and the walk itself. It felt real. Whenever you're on the Twin Tower, whenever he's on the Twin Towers, whenever he's on the walk, you feel it. And I know it's only all green screen, but it feels real. And that's a lot of credit you have to give to Zemeckis and his visual effects crew. You really have to give him credit for that because, holy crap, it feels real. It's seamless. He blends it seamlessly. It's perfect. You can't ask for anything better than that. You can't. The crew's also pretty good, except one person, but I'll get to him soon. Most of the crew is good. They're solid. They have some good jokes. There's some humor in the movie. It's pretty funny It's pretty funny. I do like the setup for the heist to land the wire. I did miss a little bit as I went to the bathroom, but I don't think I really missed a very important part of it. I went to the bathroom once during the movie, in case you want to know. And I I don't think it was anything really important. I kind of understood some parts. I thought, it was fine. I liked the crew. I liked the heist setup. It was pretty cool. I'd say there were some surprises there, but I enjoyed it for the most part. I enjoyed the heist setup. The one thing I love the most is the climax. Really, anyone's been talking about this, and yes, I do know that people, like in IMAX 3D, when they saw this, like they were throwing up during it. Like some people were throwing up. That's effective. If that does not work, I don't know what will tell you. Even though, unfortunately, this is the one thing that I think that kind of hurt the climax for me. I knew the outcome, but one thing I could say is I didn't know everything about his walk on the wire. Like, I don't want to spoil it for you guys. I want you to go into this as open as possible, like knowing little about it. I didn't know the outcome, which sucks. But I have to say, that didn't prevent the climax from being nail-biting. Because, I mean, the way it's done, it almost feels like, it's like you forgot it. You forgot the outcome, and it's like you're actually seeing it happen in front of your eyes. And holy crap. There's times where actually I got chills on my back because it's so effective. You really believe it because the actors, even though it looks like they're on a green screen set, it looks real. And of course the credit has to go to Zemeckis because he has to make them act to little to nothing for special effects because it has to look real, and they sold it. The actors on there sold it. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's great during that walk. I love that scene. It was perfect. It was a great climax that just left me biting that just was nail biting. Okay, not as nail biting as maybe some things, especially the ending to The Gift. But we already know how nail biting that film is. It's a psychological thriller, for Christ's sake. This isn't. But it's still pretty tense, and I think it'll be a lot better if you don't know the outcome. So please don't research it, or if you already know, try and go with an open mind. Or I hope you enjoy it for how it's being presented on film because it worked for me, and I knew the outcome, like I said. I don't know what to tell you. Now, there are some problems with this movie. Number one problem I have with this film, the thing this movie does is it cuts to narration. And his narration, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's narration, is fine. But the thing is, it cuts to him standing on top of the Statue of Liberty, talking directly to the audience. And now, they didn't go on for a very long time, but it was theirs. But, sometimes it was like, there's some that I didn't feel like it was very necessary for him to talk directly to the audience. I mean, do you really need to say something like that? You could just show, and sometimes he was actually just sometimes stating it. Sometimes he was narrating for stuff that we already knew that we would see. Or that we already knew was happening. Like, it didn't need, the narration really wasn't necessary because we knew it was happening. It's like they were needing exposition to explain some of the stuff, but we can see it on film. Film's a visual medium. Show us, don't tell us. You think it kind of did a combination of that, but to be honest, telling us really wasn't that necessary. Also, there's this stoner character. One of the crew members is a stoner. He doesn't have much of a part in the movie, and he leaves kind of abruptly. So, yeah, not really necessary. Also, the first act is a hit-or-miss affair. I thought it hit more than a miss. Okay, there were some misses. Like, sometimes romance doesn't always work. You can see, there's some times where it gets a little draggy, but overall, not being too much of a problem. It's really just a narration and the stoner character, that's it. But one thing I love about this movie the most, I think it will help us remember the Twin Towers in a new light, a more positive light. The way my generation remembers the Twin Towers as, like, we know that they were unfortunate, that they fell down, they collapsed on 9/11, and it always hurts me to know that. It hurts me to always think of that event, but I mean, I think this will help. Even though not a lot of people have seen it, I think this film is a love letter to the Twin Towers and to New York. It makes Twin Towers mean more. It makes them mean something as people. They're characters in the movie, basically, and it makes us remember them not only as a place, but not only as a credible piece of architecture, but also as the place where this man's passion was taken to a whole new level. Like this guy got to This guy had passion, and he experienced it on that Twin Towers, and he did something that was that was illegal and was unbelievable, but he did it. It honors him, it honors the Twin Towers, it honors New York. This film respects it, respects all three of those things. And it just leaves me feeling good about myself, and I think this will help. I wish more people have seen it, but this is what I really think it could do. Help us remember the Twin Towers in a much more positive light. Like really, it really makes them more than what they were, than what they are to us. It really makes them. You understand what I mean? It really gives them much more. It really gives them much more of a significance. It makes us really wonder that there's much more significance to them than we ever thought before. That's one thing I love about this movie, but I didn't love the entire film in general, and that is disappointing in my opinion, but one thing I'd say is it's really good. I kind of like the film a bit more as I talk about it, but I still don't think it's worthy of a 5 out of 5 rating. I'm really sorry about that, but guys, this movie is really worth your time. It's a great Robert Zemeckis film. It's a really good Robert Zemeckis film. It's not my favorite, obviously. You can't be Back to the Future or Forrest Gump, but it deserves a lot of credit. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's great in the movie. The acting is great overall. Ben Kingsley's not in the movie that much. I was a little afraid that I like that he did have his moments, and he was used well enough, but I feel like he was slightly underused, which disappointed me as well, but, that's it. I like the acting. I love the visual effects. They're great. It's a love letter to Twin Towers, New York, and to Petit and his passion. It respects it. And the one thing that really is that even though we do know what happened, even though it's so tragic what happened to Twin Towers in 9/11, they didn't really put in any references to that, and I'm happy they didn't, because it's not about 9/11. That happened in 2001. This happened in 1974. We're focusing on this guy's story, not on this man's story and what he did. That's what the focus is on, and they kept it focused there. And I think I heard they dedicated this to the victims of September of 9/11, and I'm happy they did, because it honors, I understand why would, because you understand. Those people lost their lives, and it disgusts me that this happened, but I'm just really happy how this film treats the Twin Towers with respect, and I'm happy how it turned out. I really am. I really am happy. The film's visually stunning, has great acting, one hell of a climax, and it's a really good biopic. It's not my favorite, but it is one of the best I've seen all year. The Walk gets a 4.5 out of 5. I'm really happy I saw this film. I really can't say anything else other than I really recommend you see it. I really do. I wish more people have seen it in theaters at this point, but unfortunately not enough. Florence helped make back the box office, make back the budget, but I feel like we should be giving it its fair share of money as well. Its fair share. Anyways, guys, comment below. What did you think of The Walk? What's your favorite Robert Zemeckis movie? Mine's Back to the Future. I think it's Back to the Future. I'm still debating between this and that and Forrest Gump. Do you agree with some of my points I said about about some of the stuff I've said about this movie? Comment below. Subscribe to my channel for more videos.